Call me a 30-year-old, though I'm going to end it all because I'm so fucking old. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Gates Case. Today and only today, we are here to display here 30 games for 30 years. All right, so, you know, hopefully I'm posting this YouTube video on my birthday, big 3-0. And I wanted to basically highlight 30 games that had an impact on my life that are memorable. So this isn't necessarily like my top 30 video games. This is sort of like 30 games that like I have like a core memory with, are like important to me in some way, like that had like an influence on my life, that kind of 30. So if you're a little confused, you're like, hey, where's this game you always mention? Where's this one? Where's this one? That's why these are sort of like influence, time and place, that kind of thing, right? So first one, I always tell people, Sonic Adventure DX specifically. All right, so I didn't grow up with original adventure. In fact, until video essays existed, I didn't even know that there was a different console for Sonic Adventure. I always thought of it as a GameCube game. And this was the one, man. This was the one, you know, because I remember it was Sonic X was in the middle of airing. And I remember two games that I really grew up with. That was my first two Sonic games. It was Sonic Advance and it was Sonic Adventure. And I remember just obsessively playing Sonic Adventure. I would literally replay the campaigns a bunch over and over and over again. For the longest time of my life, funny enough, I would replay this game a bunch, but I never got to the final boss until way later in my life, just because I couldn't figure out how to, you know, do the fishing stuff. So for a long time, I was actually stuck on this game. But obviously, you know, a game that not only means a lot to me, but was sort of like the start of like my Sonic chronic addiction. So Sonic Adventure, easily like probably one of the first like chemistry brain altering games in my life over here, right? So we've got that. Another one is Mario 3, specifically Mario 3 Advance. This is the GBA version of the game. This was my first real Mario game that I played through and through. I'm born in 96, so like, you know, any game that was sort of N64, I played some, but really Game Boy. I had my Game Boys, but like I really like remember through and through playing Mario 3 on my Game Boy Advance. And that was like the first one that like I remember playing through start to finish. And I remember like bringing it to school. I remember taking it to the mall with me. Like I'll never forget core memory. My mom used to go to the mall and she would be shopping with my grandma for hours, right? And the only thing that kept me out of boredom, out of my mind, was literally sitting on my Game Boy Advance playing games on that console. But again, even Mario 3, it also blew me away when I found out. I think it was only because of the Wii Virtual Console that I ever even found out that there was like an older version of Mario 3 and that it wasn't a Game Boy Advance game. You gotta, you know, the mind blowing is there. So while I love Super Mario World like a lot, and I think it's fantastic, I think Mario 3 has that special like itch where like it was the first full Mario game that I played through in my life, you know what I mean? And obviously, you know, it got me addicted to the character. All right, so there's these two. Another one that I had said previously, and maybe not all of these are going to be in order. It's going to be where I think of them. Maple Story. Maple Story, massive MMO, right? It's a big MMO game. It's like a 2D sprite-based MMO. And this was like, you want to talk about like my peak high school like nerd phase, right? You know, where like I was genuinely nerdily invested in a game. It was this, like I was joining guilds. I was like in high school, I almost like blamed this game for not being like a normal party person. You know what I mean? Like I was not going to parties or anything. I was literally spending my weekends on this game, you know, queuing up in parties, leveling up, going to markets, getting better equipment, getting better stats, playing this game. Like this was like a chronic addiction for me as a game. But like I met so many good friends through this game, and it was a game that meant a lot to me. I was on the grind. It's like I probably spent, like, I think this game was like my literal high school video game through and through. You know what I mean? It was, it got me through it all. And it's just, it's so addicting. It's so like, the way people are addicted to FF14 nowadays is like the way I was chronically addicted to this before That was the thing. The damage numbers felt satisfying and everything. It was peak. And of course, yeah, the Maple Story sprite animations were absolutely fantastic and absolutely peak. Yes, now someone in chat mentioned this, right? The game that got me through end of elementary and I want to say first year of high school before I abandoned it. I was like, okay, maybe I've grown up a little bit, is Club Penguin. All right, so Club Penguin, a lot of you know it, bro. Yes, I did get groomed in the game once, you know. You're gonna get cream for your back? Okay, yeah, you get creaming, besties. But yeah, besides, you know, getting groomed on Club Penguin, which happened to me one time, but I didn't know because it was just a random guy who came to my igloo and took their penguin clothes off. That sounds crazy after what they just said. What I was saying was, the thing about Club Penguin, right, was that it was little Timmy's first multiplayer game. You know, it was little Timmy's first multiplayer online game. Where like, this game blew my mind, right? Where like I was online, you know, and I would meet random other people with their penguin houses. You would go to their penguin houses. You would buy like these little puffle pets. You would do all these mini games. And like, it was the first time I even like was aware of updates, you know, because they had an update when you would log into the game. They announced, oh, we're gonna be doing, you know, the big summer update, the big fall updates, you know, like, it's like it was the first time as a kid, like I was growing that like concept, like, oh man, like games can get updated and get events. They would have Christmas events that I would be addicted to. Like, it was so addicting. It's a game that shut down, but I do have a tradition that every end of the year, and my chat knows this, on stream, I literally play the fan servers of the game, and we do the countdown of the year in Club Penguin, and it means a lot to me. But yeah, this was my middle school game as well. I was so addicted to this game, and I'm glad that, you know, it's one of those games that I'm glad that there are fan servers that care about it. So that's another game that got me through a lot of places in life. And another game that I want to highlight as an important factor, Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy, Xbox Live. I actually played this at my cousin's when I visited his place. He had an Xbox 360 and he showed me this game and he was like talking to me about the concept of like these downloadable games, you know, indie games. And I remember like he showed me Super Meat Boy, and yeah, this is my first like memory of like a rage game. You know what I mean? Like, this was like the first game where I like got so angry. And again, you can see on my old YouTube channel, Super Fidels, it's one of my first playthroughs I ever put on YouTube, was me, you know, trying to play through this game. This is 14 years ago, 2012 on Super Fidels, you know, thank you, Tim. But yeah, this game was important because it introduced me to like a genre of video game that I didn't know existed, and then I got invested in learning about other downloadable games. That's how I ended up playing Scott Pilgrim, the video game. And I loved all like the little Easter eggs, the references they would do, like the secret world stuff. Like, it was so retro in terms of the look while being like rage inducing. It was awesome. Super Meat Boy, 100% one of the most like influential, important games in my life. So easily, we got to get Super Meat Boy on there. Now, another game. I'm going to say this one. All right, I'm going to say it. Mario Party 6. Mario Party 6. I love Mario Party. I grew up with Mario Party. And I remember, because again, like I said, I had an N64, but I don't have many memories of my N64 besides like a few games, but I didn't have the Mario Party games on N64. I really had my Mario Party journey begin on the GameCube, and I had 5, but I played 5 on my own. But 6 was when like I had my friends and I bought the micro and it came with the microphone, and I remember like playing that endless amounts with my friends, you know what I mean? And like it was like the first time, like I think Mario Party 6 was the like game where I would genuinely get upset, as the first time as a kid where I would like genuinely become sad if I was losing, or you know, if I was getting teamed up on or whatever. Like, it was awesome. And I actually prefer Mario Party 7, but Mario Party 6 I really associate with like so many hours playing with friends, addicted to it, you know, falling for the grind and everything. Like it was addicting. It was such a good game. I love the day and night gimmick. And 7 is, are you still insane for liking 7 more? I just like 7 more. I like the vibe of it. But yeah, for me, Mario Party 6 was the start of it all. And of course, you know, even on these streams, I've gone back to Mario Party 6 so many times. And it's one of my favorites, man. I love that game so much. So Mario Party 6, easy champion of a video game right there. Please put it on a Nintendo. Next game we gotta put on my important / influenced video games. I'm trying to think. It's hard to think on spot. I'm gonna go with Sonic Adventure 2. I'm gonna go with Sonic Adventure 2. I gotta throw another one out here. Sonic Adventure 2 was the, you know, it is the brain chemistry altering. I guess it is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle specifically. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is like the brain chemistry altering video game. You know, the amount of times I replayed this game as a kid. I think Sonic Adventure 2, I think to this day, remains the video game I have like opened the most times. You know, like the amount of times I have played through this game, beaten it, opened it, just did Cityscape, just did a few levels, jumped in. Like Sonic Adventure 2, like despite, you know, its many flaws with some of the later levels, like it is a brain chemistry altering video game. Shadow is always peak, the Rouge dynamic, the music, you know, live and learn, City Escape, all these levels. Like every time I opened this game as a kid, it was chills. And it's a game that has like stuck with me addictively through my life. So one of the most important video games for me ever made, no question. All right, no question. Also, what the hell is going on here? Next game, chat. We gotta think. I gotta grab my mental bag here of an important game in Fidel's life. What are we thinking of? Lego fan is right. Lego fan is right. The 1,000-Year Door is a very, very good pick. The 1,000-Year Door for me was fucking awesome, right? Like this was a game where like it blew my mind as a kid, and to this day when I play it, it like blows my mind the way I'm like, I cannot believe how much creativity is put into the game. I can't believe how fun the partners are, how colorful it is, how funny the dialogue is, how like the music is, how so fun that combat system is. You know, the mix of like this action style for the turn-based gameplay where like you can parry every move entirely in the game. You know, you can put all your stats on health if you want. You can put all your stats on damage. You can put it all on the badges if you want. Like it's so good. The story is actually so interesting. The art style is fantastic. Like it was a game that like I was in love with at the time, and genuinely no Paper Mario game has done this to this day for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it probably is the first like RPG I played through and through JJ Tales, because I played a few growing up, but I feel like I never finished them. But this one was like special. I love this one. I love this one very deeply. Next one, obviously, gotta get this out the way. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Easy. I know it's the cheesy, like it's the OG, but this one, I was there when it came out. You know what I mean? I was there when it came out. I told this story before on stream. I remember I went to my cousin's place. He lived in an apartment complex over here, and he lived in an apartment complex near me. And I remember he took me to his friend's place, and his friends were all huddled around a TV. There was like 5-6 people in there, and they were playing this game. And I had not seen a commercial or anything, and I remember my mind being blown. I was like, what the fuck? I was looking at Luigi, Pikachu, Link, and Ice Climbers in a stage, right? And I was like, what is this? This is, wait, there's a game with all of these people together? Like, what? And I remember it blew my mind. I was begging my mom for me to get this game. And I remember like I got it. Like, I mean, endless hours of friends. I think there's going to be multiple Smash games on this list, to be honest with you, right? But I remember like endless hours playing classic mode, playing adventure mode, you know. Thank you, Mr. Switch. I don't believe you fucking me like that. Again, I didn't know about the hyper competitive scene till later in my life, but this was like the you know, this was the game back then. Like the music, anytime you went to a friend's house, I didn't know about the 64 version. No, like again, you have to remember the N64 came out the same year I was born. And so like commercials for N64, like I probably wouldn't be conscious about, because by the time I'm like 4 or 5 years old, it's 2000, 2001, you know? And so while I had an N64 because my family had one, it's not like I grew up seeing the commercials for it or that I could really know. So yeah, no, Melee, absolutely brain chemistry altering video game for me. Easily, man. Ooh, we got to think of another one here. All right, we gotta throw some 3D Mario on there. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 6. That's a good one. I think we gotta go Mario 64, because Mario 64 was like the addiction. You know what I mean? That was the impossible game, you know, back then. And I remember my first memory of it, I always tell people this, is that my mom at the mall would take me to this haircut place while she was shopping. And this haircut place had like a little gaming area where you could like leave your kids. And they had an N64, and I had a save file there, and I literally like had played through the entire game at that haircut place. And I remember it just blew my mind. It's like, I feel like Mario 64 is a game that like, I remember everything about it, no matter what, you know. I played Smash 64 right when it came out. I was 3, and when I tell you this game's hype cycle was crazy, I mean, seeing the website update in real time with screenshots and new characters was so insane. First I heard new games that have stuff posted about them online. That's crazy, but I don't care about Smash 64. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like with Mario 64, like, it's like these, as many flaws as the game has, like, every time we do a bracket or a tier list or something of it, like, despite when I play through it, I get frustrated. I'm like, there is something so like, like brain chemistry wired about this game for me, where like, there's something about the music, the stages, the aesthetic, the style of the game, everything that like, you just cannot shake off how much you love, despite how many like levels don't age the best. So for me, Super Mario 64, it's phenomenal. Still the gold standard of 3D gaming. I agree with you. If every game like was like that and just better, I feel like we'd be happy, you know? So that's one that is very special to me. How about Sonic Mega Collection, at least for me? Ooh, that one's a good one. I'm trying to think of another one. Yeah, I gotta go my Dragon Ball bag. I'm gonna say Budokai. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Budokai. Dragon Ball Z Budokai was like the Dragon Ball game. I remember, I mean, there's actually 2 Dragon Ball Z games. You know what? No, I'm gonna put one of them. I think Dragon Ball Z Budokai, like, for me, was like unreal. You know, like the graphics to me felt unreal. I remember endless hours playing with friends, trying to like learn the inputs to turn Super Saiyan, trying to learn Super Saiyan 2, like doing the Cell Saga in the game, getting so angry at the difficulty curve of the CPUs. But like the way the character models looked, the art style, the gameplay, the music was so fantastic. I was addicted to doing the tournament mode, unlocking the costumes, the alternate skills. Like, it really did like rewild the Cell. Yeah, that Cell is an evil AI, bro, you know. And how they recreated the show. Yeah, it's so good. I love Dragon Ball Z Budokai, no question. You know, it had the most thorough story until Kakarot came out. Yep, it was so good. That fucking Raditz mini game, you had to be there. All right, another game, I gotta put this, Wind Waker easily. This game was my first real Zelda game. I remember I had on the GameCube that double pack that had Majora and Ocarina, but really Wind Waker was the one where like it clicked with me, you know? And maybe because I played it when I was much younger, that cartoony art style that some people older didn't want, for me it clicked. You know what I mean? I loved the vibe of the open ocean. It made me feel like I could go anywhere. I love the music. Like the music sticks in my head. The story is so cool. I still think the Ganon fight is like probably the best besides the one in Tears of the Kingdom. But Wind Waker, to me, the vibe of it is awesome. Dragon Roost Island. I still love the weapons in the game. I love the bomb in the game. I love the boomerang in the game. I love the leaf. I love the giant hammer mallet. Like, it's so good with the different weapons. The dungeon design is fantastic. And I remember, like, it was a difficult game, but I remember having the guide for it, and it was awesome. So Wind Waker, easy. Of all the doors, Wind Waker is the only button Tears of the Kingdom. Yep, I agree with that. Now, we're gonna go I want to go Pokemon, right? And while I am a big Ruby guy, I actually was back then. I did play Red. I did play Pokemon Red, and that game was peak. OG Pokemon Red was fucking peak. I remember I went to Qatar to see my family. I know, damn Unc, you hate to see it. And I had my Game Boy, and just like to this day, like I can envision when I opened it, the sprites, the when you open it, like, oh my god, it's awesome. And I had silver, but I was, you know, as much as I make fun of Gen 1 of Gen 1, right? It was like, as at the time, it was very mind-blowing. You know, it was the game, you know, and I'm not a Kanto guy nowadays. You know, I'd give you a lot of other games. Like I said, it's not favorites, it's like influence. But yeah, no, Pokemon Gen 1, easy back then. I was there for it. So that's another one for me. I gotta go in my mental bag over here. What was another game that was very important to me when I was younger? Would you put Klonoa? No, because Klonoa was just like one of those, like, I really liked as a kid. And I like the character and I'm fond of it, but it wasn't like an influential one. I would go, you know what? Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2, man. That game, my first exposure to it was the commercial that would air on TV. And I remember there was a guy at summer camp. I actually have like the distinct memory. I have it right here. Went to summer camp. I remember it was the day we were going to a pool day, and we were all sitting on the benches. This guy in his backpack, he pulls out this copy, right? And he's like, I want to show you this game. Where I was like, oh my God, I saw the commercial for this. And he shows me the box art. He has the one where like the box art is glistening and it's this artwork on it. And I was like, oh my God, this looks sick. And after camp, there was a area you could go to in camp, which was awesome when you wait for your parents to pick you up, where you could go play video games with people. And he put his copy of Kingdom Hearts there. And I remember he was in the Lion King world. And I was like, this is, as a kid, I was like, this is awesome. And I remember I got this game and the opening blew my mind. The opening blew my mind. The gameplay blew my mind. The Disney worlds blew my mind. Everything about it blew my mind. I played 2 before I played 1. Funny enough, I think I ended up playing 1 long afterwards. But man, what a brain chemistry altering. What do you think about the prologue? I mean, again, for me, it was awesome because again, I was a kid. You know, I was a kid. I had no idea who any of these people were. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, phenomenal. Now, for Kirby, I'm going to give you the Kirby game that started it all for me. That was the one that got me addicted. It was Nightmare in Dreamland. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is what made me a fan of Kirby in the first place. I had it on my Game Boy Advance. Funny enough, my first 2 Kirby games were Air Ride and Nightmare in Dreamland. I loved this game so much. In fact, I loved it so much that, yeah, I think if you go on my old YouTube channel, it was also a game that I did a replay of when I was able to get a copy of Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland finale. I have all these playthrough videos of it. Like, it was a game that, like, to me, Kirby felt mind-blowing for me as a kid. I was like, oh my God, like, you get all these powers. This is so cool. Now, I think Superstar Ultra is close second in terms of, like, a Kirby game that blew my mind, because I remember when I actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put Superstar Ultra, Superstar, actually. I'm going to put Superstar instead of this one. I'm going to put this Superstar instead of this one. And I'll tell you why. Because with Kirby Superstar, I remember it felt like an endless game to me, right? This is specifically the SNES one that I played on the Wii Virtual Console. I did see Sonic. So Kirby Superstar SNES. Now, the reason why this game blew my mind, I remember when I got it on my Wii Virtual Console and I was playing it, I was like, it felt like I was like, oh my God, this game never ends, right? Like, you would beat one mode, you would unlock another, you would unlock another mode, you unlock another mode. I was like, oh my God, like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? It's like you would like unlock an arena mode, you unlock a Meta Knight mode, you unlock this dream race, you unlock this like the way Sakurai like designed the game around like all these different unlockable modes felt like I was getting game after game after game after game. And yeah, Superstar Ultra is even better. But yeah, I Nightmare in Dreamland is the one that got me into it. But Superstar, I was like, the sprites are so good. Everything about it, man. I love Superstar so much. It felt like I kept unlocking different Kirby transformations. So absolutely so good. How much of Disney were you immersed in back in K2? A lot, dude. A lot, dude. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. All right, now we have another game I gotta put on here. I gotta go in my Wii bag because the Wii was a massive part of my life. I think, there's probably like, I would probably put, this is tough. For the Wii, there's a lot, man. I could go a lot of directions on the Wii because the Wii really, 5 second, like, see, the problem is the Wii, for me, like, had a lot of brain chemistry altering stuff because it was like the console I played, like, it was right after I graduated 6th grade, like elementary. So it was like my high school console. So I have so many memories with it. I think, yeah, I gotta go Brawl. I'm gonna do 2 GameCube games. Well, actually, fuck. Damn. I'm gonna go Brawl. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brawl. I mean, Brawl felt unbelievable to me. Brawl was not like a real game to me. You know, having Sonic in there, having Snake, having Meta Knight, having Pit, having fucking Lucario in that game. Like, the Subspace Emissary felt like the coolest thing of all time as a kid. I literally, like, I have YouTube videos, right, of me doing, look at this, 99 live matches, like, with my friends. Chronically addicted to this game. Like, this is a game I would constantly play hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and unlocking the trophies, unlocking all, you know, the achievements, you know, everything about the game was insane. The final smashes felt like the coolest thing ever. Like, this game felt unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. It was an unreal video game through and through. So I gotta go Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Next up, you know what? I gotta go Kid Icarus Uprising. This game, I couldn't believe this was a 3DS game, you know? I remember seeing the commercials for it and being excited, but I remember playing it. I was like, how am I playing one of the most cinematic games I've ever played in my life on a 3DS? You know, like, when we replayed on stream, they hold up, like, the way Pit would fly through some of these areas where massive wars were going on, the music, the sky areas, the land areas, the bosses. I fell in love with the dialogue. Like, it is such an incredible game. It's like one of my favorite games ever, but it's also like a game where I was like, oh my God, I adore this style. Like, I feel like, you know, when we make fun of games nowadays where like the characters talk to you while you're doing stuff, it's like, I feel like Kid Icarus does that better than any game ever. You know, like, Kid Icarus does the characters talking to you about stuff, but they'll joke about it. You know what I mean? They'll make fun of it, right? They make it a fourth wall sitcom, you know, that, but like, and the game, what I adored about the game so much is like, it was one of the few games where I always waited for the next dialogue. I'm like, yo, I talk, you know what I mean? I want to hear new lines from you guys, you know? And so, yeah, I adore this game so much. So much. Very important game for me, no question. So that was another one. Sonic Advance, no. Not Sonic Advance. Because I love Sonic Advance, but that's not... Well, I'm trying to think. Fuck, Sonic Advance is a good one. Man, this is tough. I only have a few more choices. You know what? I'm gonna give my one license pick, and it is Battle for Bikini Bottom. This is a weird choice, but I feel like I have to put it. Battle for Bikini Bottom was like my silly little fucking game that I'll never forget. I thought no one gave a shit about this game except me, but it was like such a good platform. Like, I was addicted to this game, replaying it over and over, getting the golden spatulas, the fun cutscenes, everything. It felt unbelievable. And so when they announced the remake, I was like, oh my God, like, this is made for me specifically, you know? But then finding out millions of people love this game and grew up with it, I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So Battle for Bikini Bottom, unbelievably good platformer for no reason, you know? Yes, I have to do this. Galaxy 2. I loved Galaxy as a kid so much, but Galaxy 2 for the longest time front ran my favorite game of all time, just because like this was the one I connected with when I was younger, you know, because I feel like it's when I'll tell you why 2 over 1, because I feel like it's when you're older that you appreciate that Mario Galaxy has this like dark space theme and is more like of a vibe, right? But when I was younger playing this, I was like, oh my god, I just love the upbeat, happy nature of it, the music, the gameplay, Yoshi, you know, like all the different abilities, you know, the power-ups, the Cloud Mario. Again, like one of those games that I would just make random videos of as well when I was younger, like trying to get all the stars, like getting all the green stars. Like Galaxy 2 for me, that's crazy that was there, was super special. Absolutely, Super Mario Galaxy, mega important pick there. So we gotta have that one. I'm trying to think. I need another. Ooh, this is tough. See, we're getting into the few choices. But yeah, I have to put this one. I have to put this one. Sonic Mania for sure. Sonic Mania, like I said, after that era of, you know, my early college, high school days where like nothing was really going on with Sonic, it felt so good. Like it was the first time that through and through since like Sonic Colors that I could be like in love and excited for a Sonic game again. It had felt like so long since I saw that light. And so from the animation to like the gameplay choice to everything, I remember I had a summer internship. Right? I remember I had a summer internship that was going on. And I remember I literally ended the internship a week early because I was like, I just want to play Sonic Mania. And I literally like for like a week straight before like college started, I was like, I'm just going to nonstop play this game. And so Sonic Mania, you know, I remember I didn't watch the opening animation until I opened the game. I was like, nope, I know they dropped it online. I don't want to watch it. And I remember I booted it up and I like cried at seeing the opening animation and then play. And I remember I stayed up from midnight to 7 a.m. Playing it, and it was fucking awesome. And to this day, I adore this game, and I could play it any day of my life, any week. You know what I mean? Through and through, no question, bro. No question, easy. Right, hold on. Now we've got 5 more choices. Fuck, I have to put Mario Kart on here. I have to put Mario Kart on here. Damn it. Damn it, bro. Damn it. Oh, God. Okay. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. I can't swap anything. Okay. You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it is World. And I think World is like the game I associate with you guys. You know, World is the one I associate with you guys so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is just one of those games that, like, we have played it almost every day. And I've always been in love with every Mario Kart game. Like, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to death. See, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe should be on here, right? But Mario Kart World, I have such a... like, there is no game in the entire 6 years we've been streaming that, like, has struck the mental, like, addiction like this game for us. You know? I really don't think... Oh, wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... Oh, yeah. Wait. We actually have a whole other row. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm safe. Never mind. We're fine. I have a full other row of this. But yeah, Mario Kart... Well, not all of us, obviously, you know, but most of us. But yeah, Mario Kart World... I mean, this game, I have flaws with it and issues, but Knockout Tour alone... yeah, Knockout Tour alone does it all. You know what I mean? So... Also, wait. Let me... Hold on, I'm gonna make this 5 by 6 instead. There we go. So yeah, Mario Kart World, absolutely. I gotta put my baby, right? I gotta put my baby, Sonic Frontiers. I gotta put my baby. This game is like my baby. I don't know why. Like this, when I think of a video game that is my child, I think of Sonic Frontiers. This is my video game. This will forever be my video game, my game. I championed it from... You know, I covered it and championed it from reveal to post-launch. I made God knows how many videos about this game from pre-release to release to even to this day with Sonic Frontiers D. This is like my first everything. This is the game that got me to go to a movie premiere. This was our first big reactions in life. This was my first, you know, mega playthrough. This game feels like it changed my life. You know, that's the thing about Frontiers for me, is like, for me, it changed my life. Yeah, and I got to announce the Switch 2 edition, which was really awesome. But yeah, so no question, Sonic Frontiers, man, I could go on forever about this game, but like, it felt nothing. I'm chasing the high still. I truly am still chasing the high of Sonic Frontiers. No game since I've played this game yet has given me the sheer like tears and joys that Sonic Frontiers has on stream. And there's been a lot that have gotten close. But I need that next 3D Sonic so badly, you know? It's gonna be a generational thing to talk about and cover and everything, but this game is my baby through and through. You know, from the music, to the Titan fights, to, you know, going through the islands, to covering the updates, the DLCs, to everything. Like, I go back sometimes to my Titan battle reactions. You know what I mean? I go back to my Titan battle reactions sometimes because I'm like, fuck, dude, this is awesome. So yeah, Sonic Frontiers, absolutely my baby. One of the most important games in my life. All right, so hold on, we've got a lot more choices now. So I can put some more. Angry Birds. I could give credit to Angry Birds. I'm trying to think what's like. Oh, Breath of the Wild. Yeah. See, Breath of the Wild was one, man. Breath of the Wild is a game that it is the first game that caused me to fail something. I literally dropped out of a class because I was so addicted to Breath of the Wild, man. I had to drop the class. I was like, I'm literally backed up on every assignment here. I'm gonna fail right now. I straight up could not stop playing this game when it came out. I'm sorry, it's true. It was my college class. I literally dropped it because I was like, I'm literally gonna fail, and it was so worth it, bro. I'm telling you, bro, when I say like this game, and that's why like when I loved this game. It was fun. I played through it all. But Breath of the Wild, I genuinely, I was like, there's no game like this, and to this day, there is still no game like it, in my opinion. There was nothing to this day that was like, whoa, like, you know, every game said like you could go anywhere, but it wasn't like this game. The way this game, you truly could go anywhere. You truly could solve things differently if you figured it out. You know, like, it felt unbelievable. I felt like every time I opened this game and went in a different direction, I was about to have my own journey. And so yeah, no question, Breath of the Wild, like, absolutely did. No question. No question. No Klonoa. No, because again, the thing about me with Klonoa, again, like, these are games that truly like influence me. Klonoa is like the nostalgic, cute platformer I like a Pac-Man world, you know? But I wouldn't put it in the same camp. We got to put Mario Odyssey, right? We got to put Super Mario Odyssey. For me, Super Mario Odyssey, again, another game that, yes, I did break up with the girl I was seeing at the time. Because of the game, because I really wanted to play it a lot. I did leave a girl for this game, but to be fair, that was worth it, bro. That was worth it. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey, again, is another game that, like, I'm still chasing that high for Mario, because it's like, there was nothing like it, man. It felt so good to have a 3D Mario adventure. It felt so good. You know what I mean? To have a game like this in my life. The music, the hype cycle leading up to launch. I remember like replaying the game so many times, bro. I had so many hours in this game. It's unbelievable. I mean, I love this game. I've gushed about it a lot. But Mario Odyssey is a very special Mario game. You know, the way it was agonizing. Yeah, the way it is agonizing next to the Mario game is going to be generational, 100%. That's how I feel about, you know, Sonic Frontiers and Mario Odyssey. I'm like, the next games are going to be insane. But this game is so special to me. It was the first time I tried to, like, speed run a platformer. It was a game that, like, the animations are beautiful. The ending was fantastic. The music, everything. Like, yeah, no, Mario Odyssey, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm trying to think of another. Ooh, we're getting into the tough territory. I've got 5 more picks. Any DK games? No. I'm gonna put Catherine. I am gonna put Catherine. Very good pick. Catherine is such an awesome fucking game. I felt like what I loved about Catherine was it was the first time. Thank you, Tiny Flower. It was the first time I played a game where I was like, oh, like, this is kind of like a really dark, real story. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally about a guy who is like indecisive about his love life, and he is sort of like, he almost makes like a deal with the devil to, you know, try to change it, and he finds out the repercussions of it. And it's like, it's this silly like platformer where you're climbing up, pushing these blocks, but it really was like, I'm like, oh shit, like this is such a weird like idea, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's really like, it's a creepy game. The ambiance is weird, the music is weird, the vibe of it is super weird, but I love it so much. It's such a cool mix of puzzle platforming, and I really do think it's such an experimental, weird game that I ended up like genuinely adoring. Like, Alice was so good with this game, and again, I remember when I beat it, I was like, wow, like, and making like the morality system choice in the game there, I was genuinely like, fuck, what decision do I make here? I have played Full Body, I love it. So I'm gonna go Catherine. Oof, okay. We gotta think. I do, yeah. I was gonna say, well, no, because with Scott Pilgrim, it's the franchise as a whole that I really adore. I really like the game, obviously, but it's the franchise that means a lot for me. I'm gonna say, okay, I found out my two. I found out my next two. Yep, I'm gonna go Street Fighter 4. Or how do they put an IV here? Street Fighter 4. So I would go to, when I grew up, I would go to arcades, right? I would go to arcades and I play like old Street Fighter. But 4 was the one where, because like, you know, you got to think PS3 era. At that point, I'm like 12, probably like what? I was like, yeah, like 12, 13, right? And like 4 was really like, I have a million memories. This game I associate with my uncle. My uncle had the PS3 and he bought this game, and I remember, you know, I would go to my grandma's house because he still lived there at the time, and literally every night we would play Street Fighter, and I was always Ryu, he was always Ken, and literally it was a daily battle almost of Ken versus Ryu. And my cousin would come over in the summers from Qatar. He'd come see me, and every night, you know, we would do these matches. He would also play as Ken, I'd play as Ryu, and it was like, that really started my fighting game like neuron addiction for the longest time. So Street Fighter 4 is really what got me into like loving Street Fighter, because I always liked playing it in arcades, but Street Fighter 4 like was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? I remember buying Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, you know, Ultra Street Fighter 4, like such a sick video game. So I'm gonna go with that. And then there was another one that people mentioned that I have to put on here, and it's Fighters. Fighters, man. I mean, this game blew my mind. I literally could not believe this game when I saw it for the first time. And I remember, like, this is a game I wish I was making content for when it came out, because like the chronic addiction I had to this game was unbelievable. It was the first time I was trying to learn TODs, but I remember like this game, I adored role playing. I don't know if Dawn is still in chat or not, but Dawn knows this. Her and I would play the game so much, and we would literally plan out like, yo, can you pick this character because I want to see the unique intro? Let's pick this character and this picture so we can see the unique intro, right? Ooh, and like we would try to get like the cinematic finish and just see that. Like, it was awesome. And I have like millions of memories with different friends like hopping on the game. I tried labbing this game so much. I had rivalries with friends playing this. I was like, oh my god, dude, this game is so awesome. And it was so difficult to learn, but when you learned it, it felt insane. But it felt like it was a game that like, when you lost, you wouldn't even be mad, because like most of the time you wouldn't be mad, because you're like, fuck, dude, this just looks so cool, bro. Like, how can I be mad at somebody like doing triple air combos at me, shooting a Kamehameha into a level? Like, this is the coolest thing of all time, bro. You know what I mean? So DB Fighter is absolutely incredibly important video game to me. Okay, I have 3 more choices. Oof. 3 more choices. For 30 games for 30 years. The dramatic finishes still get me. I'm gonna go Mega Man 0. I really love Mega Man 0. a lot. I don't know why it shows like that. Mega Man Z. Did they not show it right? I guess they show it. Yeah, Mega Man Zero. I remember was another like brain chemistry altering game on my Game Boy. That when I bought and like I saw that opening cuts, I was like, this guy is so cool, and the music is so cool. And I remember that I ended up buying Mega Man collections and watching the Mega Man anime, and you know, playing any Mega Man game afterwards. It's like Mega Man Zero games on GBA were like, they blew my mind. It was, to me, like I felt like playing Mega Man Zero made me like a cool, mature dude. It was so fucking awesome. I love Mega Man Zero so much. So that's another one. We have two more. Final Fantasy, no. I love Final Fantasy, but none of them shaped me. I'm hovering in my mind, you know? There's in my mind, it's hovering. It's like Crossroads is hovering there, Persona's hovering there. I'm gonna go Ultimate. Fuck. Damn it, man. Any Indians? It would probably be Eyes. Ah, damn it. Xenoblade is also a good one, man. I'm gonna. You know what? I am gonna say Persona 5. I think Persona, because I love Persona 4, right? But I will say I think Persona 5 for me was like, damn, bro, this game is awesome, dude. You know, what about Sony games? I wouldn't say any of them Metal Cap. I think for me, my entire life, I've liked Sony games, but none of them were like influential to me. And I liked so many of them. The only one I would consider in PlayStation history for like a one that it was an impactful in my life was Ratchet and Clank, because I've played every Ratchet and Clank game to this day. But yeah, Persona 5 for me is a game that like I really fell in love with when it came out. I loved the characters, I love the UI, I love the gameplay, the music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, obviously like when people wanted this game to be on multiple platforms, I championed the movement that ended up happening. All right, they said, hey, you want Persona on multiple things? Ask for it. Hashtag break free Persona, and it did. I did break free Persona. All right, I take some credit in that because you had voice actors tweeting about it. You had so many people. I might deadass unironically be a reason that this game exists on other platforms, you know? So I did disturb the peace quite a bit. But no, Persona 5, like this was a game that like I really fell in love with this cast. You know what I mean? So I loved, you know, I loved the Joker. I loved Ryuji. I loved Haru. I loved Morgana. I loved Futaba as your assist homie. Like I love this game. I love the UI, the music, the story themes, everything. Persona 5, fucking awesome. Now, I only get one pick. All right. P5, but not P4. I think P. Damn it, man! I get one. Put the God Hand in the back. Fall Guys, the original Ranger. Oh, that is a good one, man. No. I'm hovering. It's either Ultimate, Colors, Cuphead, damn it. Yeah, damn, man. Damn. I think, yeah. It's Ultimate. I think I'm going to put Ultimate because I've always said this with Ultimate. I was like, wow, like when Ultimate came out, I remember being like, this is the coolest thing ever. But unironically, this will never happen ever again. Like that is the one game on this list where like, wow, this can never be replicated now. It literally, it can't. It cannot. You know, like you can add more characters, you can reboot, you know, but like you can never recreate Everyone Is Here as a gimmick and concept. You know what I mean? Like that was, to me, I was like, holy shit. It was a once in a lifetime. This is your games that shaped you list. Yeah, it is, because it's like, this was a, literally, this is the you had to be there game, you know? Corny Ultimate, no. I thought you mentioned Colors Ultimate. That would have been awesome. But no, you had to be there for Ultimate. Like, Smash Ultimate is like what people, you know, when they tell you you had to be there for the original Star Wars trilogy, right? Like, you had to be there for the release hype cycle of Smash Ultimate. You know what I mean? To really understand it. It's a thing that, like, you'll have to ask people how it felt to, you know, be there for the hype cycle, hoping for your character to get, dude, getting Sora in there, getting Joker in there, getting Sephiroth in there, getting Hero in there, getting fucking Banjo-Kazooie in there, getting Ridley after, you know, he's too big, like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what I mean? You had to be there, and I was there. And I can't wait for the next game. Absolutely. But this game, you know, the amount of hours spent with friends, spent on stream, everything is huge. You know what I mean? So, absolutely. And there you go, chat. 30 games for 30 years. Thank God I did this today and not tomorrow, because this would have taken a long time tomorrow. But yeah, 30 games for 30 years. Yeah, these are the impactful video games of my life. You know what I mean? No Crossroads. Well, Crossroads would probably be, if I had another row, I would have put Crossroads. But these are like the you know, influential ones in there. But yeah, I love this. Yeah, there is a lot of Smash glitches, but yeah, I mean, it is literally my favorite franchise, besides like Sonic stuff. But yeah, no, absolute peak. Love to see it.